Hockey fans all across the world, Clean Sheet of Ice fans, Texas hockey fans, we're back with another episode, the Olympic preview episode. We're going to talk about all the games, all the things that are going on, the groups that are there in the Olympics. We're getting underway literally tomorrow. We're having this episode coming out Tuesday, February 10th in the afternoon. But we've got Olympic hockey starting tomorrow for the men's side. The women have been killing it. Canada and U.S. have been putting up a billion shots against the Swiss and the Denmarks and all the other teams out there. I feel bad for those goalies because it's so many shots. It's an enormous amount of shots for the women's side. We'll see if the men follow suit. Welcome to the Olympic preview on Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast. I am your host, Stone Strankman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Stone, I'm feeling it again. That Four Nations is coming up on a year. And boy, that was a time for hockey, not just in the United States or Canada, Finland or Sweden, but the world. And we're getting it back. First time in a long time we've had these NHL players representing their countries at the Olympics. And I cannot wait for tomorrow and the rest of these games.
Yeah, the longtime Clean Sheet of Ice viewer and listener from last season would have tuned in with us for that gold medal match in the Four Nations tournament. We streamed from the office on the Apollo HOU YouTube, and you were there. I was here. I was drinking some bourbon. I was having a great time until I wasn't in that overtime period. But this isn't Four Nations anymore, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Olympics. This is for the big cojones. This is a real tournament with real games and non-exhibition, and it matters. It mattered last year, but it matters so much more. It's the first time that we've had NHL players in the Olympics for a very long time, since I was in high school, even the Sochi Olympics with TJ Sochi doing all those shootout games against Russia. That was in econ. My senior year of high school, I was in econ, and my teacher was like, "You want to throw on this game?" And we're like, "Hell yeah, let's watch this game." I missed my whole next period because the shootout just kept going too long. Like, I just had to stay. I was like, I'm not going to my next class. All right? I'm not doing it. I'm staying here. I'm watching TJ Oshie just do it again and again and again against Sergei Bobrovsky. But we're back. The Olympics. We're in Milan this time. It's a little bit different. We got group stage. We got some teams. And I'm confused. I don't know how this works group stage-wise. I would assume 8 teams have to advance to go to the quarterfinals. Then you get the semifinals, and then you get the finals. We're going to be live streaming on Thursday. Just going to put that out here in the first 5 minutes of this episode. We're live streaming the U.S. game on Thursday, 2:10 p.m. It's not at 8 a.m. Whoever that journalist is that put out the schedule a month ago, you lied to my face. I thought we were doing pucks and coffee. Thought we were doing Clean Sheet of Ice in the morning at 8 a.m. It's literally only the gold medal match at 8 a.m. Here in Texas time, Central Time Zone, God's time zone. Everything else is in the afternoon. They're playing at 9 p.m. over there in Italy. But it's 3 p.m. here. They're 2 p.m. here, 3 p.m. Eastern. So, we're going to be live streaming 2 p.m. on Thursday. USA's first game. We're going to see probably Hellebuck and net. It's going to be what it is. But we'll be live streaming on Thursday.
Yeah, and, this group for the United States, it's their group to not win. And if they go out there and play like we think they can, there's a high chance they can get the number 1 seed heading into the tournament portion of these games. And they got to come ready. And we're going to see really quick who gels with who.
Yeah, it's an interesting group. So Group A is Canada, Switzerland, Czechia, and France. The Czechs and Canada are obviously the two that I would assume that are going to come out of this. I think the Czechs are pretty good. They got Pasta. They got Radek Faksa, Dallas Stars legend. People forget. Group B, the hardest group of death, if you will, if we're looking at the World Cup kind of outlook of it. Finland, Sweden, Slovakia, and Italy. I feel so bad for Italy, but they are the host nation. They automatically qualified for it, for you to get the hardest group because you're not the best at hockey. Don't feel too bad. At least you're here. At least you get to have fun. At least you get to do it at home, right? And then Group C, United States, Germany, Latvia, and Denmark. The easiest group, I think, by far. There's not a lot of competition there. I think Germany's a good team. I think they could be really good in the next Olympics, maybe 2 Olympics after this. I think they're going to be really, really, really good because they're getting more NHL players. But for now, it's like Stutzla and Draisaitl, and I don't know what else.
I think Peterka from Utah.
Yeah, sure.
So, but I mean, yeah, like you said, like they're not there yet with the top of the top, but it's not a game you can take lightly. It's kind of our version of that Swiss game that Canada is going to have. But man, that group with Finland, like whoever put these groups together, putting the Swiss and the Finns against each other, that's going to make for some TV. But yeah, no, the US, like, God, their roster's so nasty.
It is, and I just get more angry the more I look at it. Dumb. I just keep doing it. Like, they put out the rules yesterday. The Milan Cortina Olympic Twitter, whatever, they put out the rules. We're doing a lot of 3-on-3 overtime, which is fine in the group stage. After the group stage, there is no shot I'm doing 3-on-3.
Yeah.
Going 5-on-5 until someone scores the golden goal. They don't have that. They don't even have that for the gold medal match. It's
Really?
3-on-3 overtime golden goal. So, like, there's no shootout in the gold medal match, but there's shootouts in the semifinals. Like, that's crazy to me that we're doing 3-on-3 overtime in gold medal matches. Best on best that and we haven't had this in, 12 years now? It's been 3 Olympic cycles since we've had best on best hockey. And we're doing 3-on-3 overtime for the golden goal? No. Count me out.
Yeah, these games are too important to have, like, regular season-like feels to them.
And I understand for the nations last year, it makes sense. Yeah, get the games over with. You play the 5-10 minutes or whatever, and then you go to a shootout and you call it a day, right? Like, I'm fine with that. But then as soon as you get out of group stage, there is no need for 3-on-3 overtime. There is no need for 5-minute overtime period and 3-on-3 overtime in the knockout stage. And then once you get to the semis, it goes to 10 minutes. And I believe in the gold medal match, it goes to a full 20-minute period, 3-on-3 overtime. I don't, if you're going to go full on 20 minutes, like, why are you not going 5-on-5? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and 3-on-3 for 10 minutes straight, like, that'd give me a heart attack.
It's already, overtime hockey is already stress inducing to the max. And then when you make it 3-on-3, it's so much harder as a fan to watch because, literally any time someone goes down past the blue line, there is a goal waiting for you. It is terrifying. It is the worst. And you make 10 minutes, that 5 minutes. The Stars are on a 6-game on Friday. Savannah was out of town. Me and Dom, we don't really record on Fridays. It is what it is. All right. They had the golden goal from Jamie Benn. Hell of a goal there. But the game before that, they go to overtime, right? It's fucking stress. The first 2 minutes. It was a 2-minute period of overtime, and I was just tensed up the whole time on the edge of my seat. That's what it was for 2 minutes. You're going to tell me I got to go for 10 minutes now? And then if we go to a shootout after that, I'm going to be clinching even harder? I don't know, man.
Smaller rink, longer overtime, something crazy is going to happen. Like, if you think this tournament's going to go out the way you projecting it to, like, you're probably mistaken.
Yeah. And the other thing is that there's no fighting in the Olympics. It is not allowed. It is like pee-wee hockey or whatever. Like, you can't fight. Okay. If you fight, you get tossed from the game immediately. Game misconduct. You're out of there. All right. If your helmet comes off on the ice and a little scrum or whatever, 5-minute penalty. Your helmet. If a helmet goes fine, you're off the ice for 5 minutes. How crazy is that? Imagine not bringing like 2 30-goal scorers already at the Olympic break. Jason Robertson, Cole Caulfield for the U.S. and smaller rink, 3-on-3 overtime, a little bit of speed, a little bit of shot power, goal scoring ability. When you can't be physical, I can't imagine doing that, Bill Guerin. I can't imagine. I'm not letting it go. Everyone keeps saying let it go. I'm not going to let it go. With the rules that just came out, I can't let it go. There's no way I can let it go.
I tried to, as a Stars fan, just first of all, Robertson's been playing out of his mind.
Yep.
Like the last month. But I got really close to kind of just being at peace with it. Once I switched to Team Finland as my official team, I was okay with it. I was like, man, I still want the United States to really kick Canada's ass. But when we got to the Olympic ceremony and I see all of the players there and they are so excited, and I'm just like, man, that is Jason Robertson to be in a polo jacket, waving a small 3x5-inch American flag, smiling from ear to ear. Like this just, and Canadian fans were like, thank the Lord they left Robertson off this team. Because exactly what you said is the reasoning why they were terrified of Jason Robertson playing on this team. You can't fight. You can't stay physical. You can't, like, it. The notion of bringing a team off of physicality to a game where they're gonna call fouls like it's an NBA playoff game is absurd. Like, it's all put the puck in the net, and you're leaving 2 guys. There's not 10 guys in the world that are better at doing that than Jason Robertson and Cole Caulfield, and to leave them off the team is ridiculous.
Cole Caulfield scores a 3-on-3 overtime goal every time they go to overtime. It is every single time Cole Caulfield is in the mix. He is the one scoring the game-winning goal in overtime for the Canadians this year. Unbelievable that just like speed and shot making ability is not a pressing issue for a team that has the best defense in the world, has the best trio of goalies in the world coming into this. Out of the 12 teams that are playing in the Olympics, they have the best defense. They have the best goalies by far. The pairings, all 3 goalies are better, like as good, if not better than everyone else in the tournament. And all you need to do at that point is score a shitload of goals, right? You would think that's just what you need to do. Can you get 3 on the board in a tight semifinal game? Can you get 3 on the board in a gold medal match? I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can. Like,
this would be like an NBA team having the best center and the best rim protector, and then looking at Steph Curry and being like, we don't need you for this Olympics. Like, we don't need the 3-pointers. That quick shot you have, we're good. My bias aside, Jason Robertson has the quickest shot I've seen in person. I've seen Vegas, Edmonton, Dallas. I've seen a lot of NHL games. It's the quickest shot I've seen. And to leave it off in this situation is ridiculous.
I'm at a loss for words. We'll go to your team, though, Team Finland. They're kicking this puppy off February 11th at 10:40 a.m. Eastern time, I believe. So that has to be 9:40 a.m. tomorrow when we're watching Team Finland face off against Slovakia. And on Team Finland's part, Mikael Granlund, team captain for Team Finland this year. I thought Mikko had a real good chance. Granny is the senior on this team. He is the last NHL player to play in the Olympics on this squad for the Finland team. He was on those Finland team in 2014. I believe they got bronze in that Olympics. He medaled there. He was on there in the NHL, and then he comes here. He's in the NHL still. He's still scoring goals. So captain for Team Finland. But the other thing is Sebastian Aho gets the alternate captain, assistant captain, and Mikko Rantanen is wearing an A for Team Finland. Obviously, no Sasha Barkov, so there was an extra spot there for Team Finland. But that's huge. Mikko is wearing an A at the Olympics. That's super cool.
Yeah, and I was listening to a different podcast, and they were kind of like, the biggest thing that's going unnoticed from 4 nations to now is like, the player that got missed the most for their team was Miro Heiskanen in Team Finland. And without Miro last year, they gave Canada fits. They gave Sweden fits. Like, this Finland team, I've always looked at them as the dark horse of any international play. They're good enough now. I don't even think that's the case. I think they're a legit player to not only medal, but play in that gold medal game. Like, there's enough talent. And with a top line defensively of Esa Lindell and Miro Heiskanen, you can hold some of the top lines of the other nations well enough to where these guys, they play so well together. I've seen it firsthand. They talk to each other in Finnish, at least our Stars players do. And they know, like, we see it with Mikko Rantanen. He has eyes in the back of his head. You're going to see it with a bunch of other guys for Team Finland. Like, they're going to make some passes that will wow you. It's just, can their speed in that second and third pairing minus Rupe Hintz keep up with the top guys of the United States? Because, my God, it's a goon squad up there. I mean, Austin Matthews is on the second line. Like, this is a nasty team you got to deal with. But I love the way this roster be. Tuning in every U.S. game, but these Finland games are going to be fun.
Yeah, and you look at the defense from Team Finland. Obviously, you got Miro and Esa on your top pair. Like, yeah, makes sense. You got Mikkola from the Panthers and Ristolainen. It's another good pair. And then you got Lettinen and then Matin Paulo. I think he's the only non-NHL guy. But you have Yoki Haru and Olli Mata are your extras there on defense. I think that's a really, really solid defensive unit. The kind of issue you're looking at now is the goalies. It's like UC Saros was really, really good a few years ago, but there's been a lot of damage there in Nashville, obviously, with the Trout's going to step down as GM and their whole thing there. But you got Jonas Corpusalo there too. So like your goalies aren't that bad. Your forwards is kind of where I'm interested to see where the firepower is going to come from outside of the top line. Really, it's Granny, Rope, Mikko. Like that's a hell of a top line. We saw that last year in the playoffs. They're going to be good. They have chemistry already. They played in the playoffs, played in high pressure situations together. Think that's great. You got Lehkonen, Aho, and Kapanen. There's your second line. It's not bad. I don't hate it. You got Luosterainen, Lundell, and Teravainen, Tuevo and Turbo. Like that's a fun third line. And then you got Kiwi and Tolvanen. Like Kapko's there as your kind of extra there. Like they have a really solid roster, and a lot of them have already played together in like World Juniors or U20s, U18s, like all that kind of stuff. They've played a lot together, whereas I think a lot of these guys for Team Canada, Team USA, maybe haven't played together necessarily a ton. Obviously, Four Nations helps out a lot last year, but getting that whole Mikko, Granny, Rope line together is going to be really fun to watch along because they're going to start. Obviously, all 5 Finns are going to be together. I wonder if it's going to be the 5-star lineup with Granny, Rope, Mikko, and then Esa and Miro to start. Be fun.
I really want Rupe to shine in this Olympic period. I mean, he had like there will be few Stars fans that will tell you that it's not the year they wanted from him this year, but the speed is still there, and if he can showcase that, it's going to be fun to watch.
And obviously, with the 6-game win streak that the Stars ended on, Rope started showcasing a lot more goal scoring ability, a little bit more setups. Like you saw more production, I guess, out of Rope. I think he's kind of doing the same thing that he's been doing all year. It's just points started coming. So curious to see what happens in the Olympics with these guys. Can one of them come back and have a Thomas Harley type of second half of the season or last third of the season, right? When he came back from Four Nations, learns a lot, and then all of a sudden he's like the top scoring defenseman in the league outside of Kel McCarr, who did something that we haven't seen since like the 70s from a defenseman. I think maybe if Rope can get going in this one, then all of a sudden he comes back and he's just hot. He's just on fire. And then you've got 2 guys on that line with Rope and Robo just scoring at will, along with the top line of Wyatt and Mikko. And then you got the third line of Dutchie and Jamie now that are scoring. All of a sudden that Stars team looks a lot of fun. I know this is an Olympic preview, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
If I'm a fan of Team Canada or a fan of Team USA, the team you don't want to see is Team Finland, because I know firsthand what Mikko Rantanen has the ability that very few people have, and that's just to take over a game by himself. And that's a roster that could be deadly with just him doing his thing.
It's going to be fun. I think the Finnish-Sweden group pairing too in there, they're guaranteed to play each other that second game, February 13th. It's going to be at 5:10 a.m. So it's going to be an early wake-up call there on a Saturday morning, or Friday morning, I guess. And that's going to be tough, but I'm going to tune in. I'm going to make my alarm at 5. I'm going to make my coffee. And I'm going to sit down at 5:10, puck drop, and I'm going to watch 2 countries that hate each other go at it in hockey. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting up at like 4:40, and I'll be in the gym, but I will have it on in my ears, and every 20 seconds kind of just peeking over and seeing how it's going.
So that'll be fun. Obviously, on the 11th as well tomorrow, you got Sweden and Italy. Sweden should just beat the hell out of Italy, I would assume.
Yeah. And poor Italy, man.
And we don't have any Stars in that one. So I'll be tuning in. I'll have it on in the background. I'll probably be dialing into work, maybe making some clips, maybe do some work, trying to find a sponsor, whatever. If you want to sponsor this podcast, by the way, hit that subscribe button and then hit me up in the DMs. You can DM Clean Sheet Advice on any platform. You can DM me, Apollo Stoney, or you can hit up stonestraightman at apollohou.com if you want to send me an email. Also, hit that subscribe button because we're at 209 subscribers right now, right? I would love to be at 250 by the time we get back for the regular season. We got this Mikko Rantanen bobblehead that we want to give away to you, Team Finland, Dallas Stars, Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. We want to give that away. Once we hit 250 subscribers, we'll do a giveaway on that next podcast. You got to be able to tune in. You got to leave a comment on that one. I'll let you know when that happens. But hit that subscribe button on Clean Sheet Advice on YouTube, where if you haven't already, or tell your friends, and then hit that subscribe button on audio platforms too. Who do you want to talk about next? We've done a little bit of US. We've done a little bit of Finn. Do we talk about Canada now?
The pairings that have been at practice for Team Canada are pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. But, whoever's going to be in net, I think is the biggest talking point for Canada. Like, it seems like they're going with Bennington. The Stars fan in me has seen Bennington, what, 3 times in the past month?
In the
Like,
last like 2 weeks.
like I don't know why Logan Thompson is not it's not even a battle at practice. It feels like Bennington has that net. And, it is going to be different because they do have more games to kind of get their feet wet and get comfortable before they get to the tournament stage. But Logan Thompson has been on a heater this season. And I just, with the US has great D, but Canada's defense is pretty stacked as well. And so you don't need crazy like goal saving opportunities. I don't know why Bennington's in there. I just don't.
We were talking pre-show about it. I equated Jordan Bennington to a big game pitcher where you're getting to the MLB postseason and you've got a pitcher, Kurt Schilling, for instance, with those Diamondback teams, those Red Sox teams. Like he was a really good regular season pitcher, right? And probably a Hall of Fame pitcher. Like at the end of the day, he's got some Cy Youngs. Like he's one of the best, right? But you don't think of Kurt Schilling as a regular season guy. Jordan Bennington has a lot of regular season wins. Jordan Bennington has that 2019 Stanley Cup, stood on his head as a rookie, like young guy, and just kind of won those big games. He came in and you're like, yeah, you're not scoring on this guy. And if you are, you're not scoring multiple times, right? Same thing with Kurt Schilling. When he came in, he's going to give you 7-8 innings. He's going to bleed through his sock. He's going to give it all for his team. You're going to get a run, maybe 2, but you're not getting more than that. And he's going to strike out a shitload of people. Like, that's what Bennington feels like to me. And I think that's what Team Canada is kind of going off of the basis of, is like last year in Four Nations. Like the game that they lost in Four Nations to Team USA early in the tournament, where it was it 3-1? Like,
Yeah.
It was just a 2-on-1 situation there. Gensel scores and it's 3-1, but like it wasn't really 3-1. It was 1-1, and the US kind of came out on top there in the third period, right? And then you have the gold medal match for Four Nations last year. Is it 1-1 going to overtime, or is it 2-2? Like, I can't remember, but just keeps him in there. He makes some impeccable saves, some saves that Austin Matthews should have ended that tournament in the third period, and then again in overtime. Like, that should have been it. But Bennington kind of stood on his head. His glove was going crazy. Like, he's flailing all over the ice. He's a big game goalie. And I think that might be what Team Canada sees in him over Logan Thompson, who is definitely the best Canadian goalie right now that they have to choose from last year and this year, regular season wise. And he was good in the playoffs last year. It's just the Caps they weren't the best team last year, right? So yeah, I think that's probably what they see in Benner, is that he's a big game goalie and they're going to ride that guy. And obviously you got group stage you got to play with, and if Benner just kind of shits the bed basically, then you can throw Logan Thompson in and still feel pretty confident in that.
As someone who wants the United States to win the gold medal, Thomas Harley is going to be the X factor for this Canadian team. I don't know how they're going to use him. A lot of fans have been saying he hasn't been playing to his contract, but you look at the past month of a sample size, this is the Thomas Harley that earned that contract. And like, with how stacked that team is, if he's the guy you leave the puck with, like, you're in trouble, because Thomas Harley is going to make a play, and God, his passing is going to be on display, just like it was in the Four Nations. And as a Stars fan, I'm psyched to see him out there with the best Canadians in the world, and he shows that he belongs in that conversation. But as a United States fan, like, I know how good he is, and I just have a bad feeling he's going to have a couple of moments in this tournament.
I hope that Harles does well, in every game outside of when U.S. plays Canada, and that might be the gold medal match. Like, yeah, Harles is. We think he's going to be paired up with Drew Doughty, right?
Yeah.
Our question pre-show was, hey, who's going to be the aggressor on offense in that Stars? You got me, a responsible defensive player. He's going to play the blue line a lot, but every once in a while he'll dive into the play. He'll get into the slot. He'll go around the net, like all that kind of stuff. He's the aggressor on offense. Essa will absolutely stay back. When Thomas Harley's on the ice, no matter who he's paired with, if it's Nel Lundqvist, if it's Lyubushkin, if it's Petro, like, those guys are having to stay back because Thomas Harley is the better offensive player. He's the one that's going to get in the muck unless Nel Lundqvist beats him up the ice, right? So he's always the aggressor on the offensive side. Drew Doughty is the aggressor and has been the aggressor for 16, 17 years now. Like it's been a long time. They won those cups in what, 2010, 2012, like, or 2012, 2014, maybe. Uh, it's been a long time. Been that guy. He's been the offensive guy. He's been the aggressor on offense. He's getting in the muck. Thomas Harley does that too. We saw last year at Four Nations that Thomas Harley can stay back. The other thing I noticed over the last 2 weeks or so is that Thomas Harley was getting a lot of PK time. They're trying to give Essa a little bit more of a break, or even putting him out there with Essa. He was out there on the PK a good bit for a minute plus, or the last minute of a PK, really. And that PK was doing pretty well, obviously, over the last 2 weeks because you're winning a bunch of games. I wonder if Harles was told, like, hey, you're going to be on the PK a good bit in the Olympics. And he told goalie that, and goalie's like, all right, let's go get some practice in, bud? And maybe that's what it is Harles is going to be big on the PK. He's going to play around 14 minutes or something like that. But I'm curious. Obviously, Doughty's a little bit older, and he's obviously still the aggressor. He's a guy that's arguably could have worn a letter at this Olympics. He's one of the long-standing guys. But, yeah, I think it's going to be fun to watch Harles and Team Canada. They're going to be a really fun team to watch, regardless if you hate them or like them.
Yeah, so it's so interesting because with such stacked rosters, I think the power play for Team Canada is so stupid. You can give guys like Thomas Harley the PK, and the PK is so good that Mitch Marner is not even on the first or second PK line. Like that's how good they are. And it was the game that I went to against Winnipeg. Thomas Harley had 5 block shots in the first period. Like Thomas Harley, we all know Esa Lindell is a PK god, but Thomas Harley has gotten there. Like he's definitely developed his game in that sense. And like the impact he's going to have it's going to go unnoticed, to my opinion, but he's going to show out.
Yeah, it was weird last year because he's playing in between 12 and 15, 16 minutes maybe at the Four Nations when he did play those few games. And it was like 1 out of every 5 national reporters was like, hey, Thomas Harley's played a hell of a game tonight. The other 4 were like, yeah, didn't notice him. Like, and then you hear all the coaches, all the players be like, yeah, well, Harles came in here and just like held it down, dude. He was good. Like he came in late too. Like he was a late add to the roster after the first game, right?
Yeah.
Comes up. He's about to go on vacation. He shows up for Four Nations late. He hasn't practiced with them. He hasn't done anything with them, right? And came in and he played a really good tournament. So I think Harles is going to be pretty good. Obviously, you got Cale Makar, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Brad Marchand. Like the list goes on and on. That forward group, their B squad might be better than the USA squad on forwards. They're fucking nuts, dude.
Like I don't remember where they had Crosby, but just the fact that Crosby's not on the first line just shows you how much talent is on that team.
And then you got Celebrini. You got like a crazy mix of youth and experience. Like you've got guys that were on the Olympic squad the last time that they had NHL players in the Olympics. Like you got all the guys that played in Four Nations last year. And now you're kind of bringing back pretty close to the same team. It's the same D pair. It's the same goaltenders. So there's a few different forwards in there. Like Mark Stone's a really good veteran. He's a great leader. Everyone talks about it across the league. I know we hate Mark Stone as a Stars fan and Stars organization. We don't like that guy, but everyone talks highly of him. Whoever plays for him, whoever plays against him, they love Mark Stone. All right. So you got him. You got Brad Marchand, who's another one of those guys. He's just, you hate him if you have to play against him, but you love him if you play with him. Same thing. You got those 2 guys. And then Mitch Marner's just out there on like the third line sometimes. And I'm just like, every time I see Mitch Marner play, I'm just like, how does this guy get run out of Toronto? He's the best one out of that core 4 every time I see him.
After this Olympic period, I think I would love the United States to win the gold. I think they have the talent to do it. But I no longer want to hear this notion that they're an underdog in the hockey world. The United States is just like, yes, Canadians have the forward group that is just a death squad. But the only roster that has a D group that can handle that death squad is the United States. I mean, Werenski and Anderson on the last D pairing. That's absurd to have. Like Brock Faber, I've never liked your game, but I respect your game, and you better show up just like you did in last year's Four Nations. But man, like this is going to prove like the United States does not be they don't need to be looked at as an underdog anymore. They should be looked at as this is our gold medal to lose, just like Canada does. And I think we're going to get a Canadian-US final, and it's going to be tough to win.
All right, I'm looking at the forwards right now. Looking at projected lines, right? You got the Kachuk and Eichel line, which was incredible at Four Nations.
Yeah,
Had a
really
lot of
good. Yeah.
chemistry, a lot of speed, a lot of physicality, obviously. And then you got Eichel with the finishing. And then both Kachuk brothers will get in the muck. They will fling pucks at the net. They get to the dirty areas. They do all the hard work for you. And then you're kind of freeing up Eichel. That's sick. Love that. Second line, Ginsel, Matthews, Boldy. Swear you're losing me. Why is Boldy on this team? I like Boldy, but I don't love Boldy. And this is a pure Minnesota Bill Guerin pick because they're the only team to have 3 players at the Olympics on a single team.
I mean, if I'm going to put Boldy on a line anywhere, I think Matthews can pick up the slack. But I just don't think Boldy would be on my, like, I think he'd be up, dressed, like a healthy scratched up in the press box watching, respectfully.
Like, just hear me out. You're putting Robo on that line? Feeling a lot better.
Disgusting.
Either Robo or Cole Caulfield, honestly. You put either one of them out there, I'm feeling really good. Because then, like, the attention cannot go to just, while Boldy is a great NHL player, he is very good. I think there were better players left at home. And I think if you threw one of those players on this line, there has to be attention to each one of those guys. You can't double team. You can't kind of focus in on a guy because Matthews can score at any place. Gensel showed last year at the Four Nations he can score from any place. And then you throw Robo or Caulfield in there, they can score from any place too. I think that line seems a lot more fun.
Robo and Matthews on the same line. Like, who are you going to guard from the one-timer? They're both lightning quick shots.
Even in the slot, like, it's all crazy, right? Third line, love this line. Kyle Connor, Dylan Larkin, and Tage Thompson. Love that line.
Kyle Connor on your third line is
crazy, dude.
Like, that is Space Jam type team.
They healthy scratched Kyle Connor last year in the gold medal match for like Chris Kreider and JT Miller. I just need everyone to realize that right now. The guy that scored goals earlier in the tournament for you, scratch for like Chris Kreider and JT Miller. Chris Kreider, like, I think he scored a goal that game, but like, for what, dog? You got one of the fastest guys that scores 40 goals every single season. What are we doing?
What are we doing, man?
And then fourth line, JT Miller, fuck off, dude. Brock Nelson and Luke Hughes, or Jack Hughes, sorry. That's fine as your fourth line. I don't hate it, but I don't think I like it.
Yeah, like, they tried to sell it. Rosters were made that this is not an all-star team, but at the same time, dude, like,
it is.
That's exactly what this is.
Yeah, and they're pulling, like, Bill Guerin is basically pulling quotes from Miracle on Ice, right? He's pulling stuff from Herbie. Like, he's going, we're a unit, we're a team, we got to do this. And while that is true, the game in the 1980 Olympics is so significantly and drastically different than the game is today, especially when you're playing on ice that's a little bit smaller. While the players haven't really noticed the difference in the size of the rink, it is still smaller. And the physicality is non-existent, basically, in this game. There is going to be checks. There are going to be hits. There are going to be all that. Robo throws hits. Robo can take hits. That's the cool thing about Robo. And like JT Miller, while you're trying to build a locker room and a team and camaraderie and all that kind of stuff, JT Miller's over here shitting on his team. And he's just like, I don't know what's wrong with this team. He's the captain.
Hockey fans,
the New York Rangers. Why?
Hockey fans for over a decade has asked Gary Bettman to allow us to see best on best hockey. If you have JT Miller over Jason Robertson, this is not best on best hockey. But this team is still so unbelievably skilled that we could win a gold medal and nobody even kind of blink about it. But if they lose to Canada, it's all I will be screaming about for at least 12 months.
Yeah, like, throw Clayton Keller on that last line instead of JT Miller. I'm feeling fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's more speed. There's more scoring ability. Maybe sets Brock Nelson up because Brock Nelson obviously like has the most points or goals since 2026 started, I think, in the NHL. Yeah. He plays with the team that scores the most goals in the NHL because of two guys. Like, the Colorado Avalanche just score goals. That's what they do. So you throw Clayton Keller in there, I think the scoring ability goes up for Brock Nelson. I think it goes significantly down with JT Miller. Could be wrong. We'll see. Defense, Luke Hughes, Charlie McAvoy. Fuck yeah. Or Quinn Hughes, sorry. But yeah.
Goons, absolute goons.
Fuck yeah, dude. Loving that one. Jacob Slavin, Brock Faber. Love that.
Yeah, like that's unreal too.
And then Sanderson and Werenski are your bottom pair.
See, like with that horrendous fourth line arrangement, the second and third pairing on D is so skilled offensively, it might make up for it when they're out there on the ice together.
And like Slavin's Slavin and Sanderson are some of the best like defensive guys too.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing. They're really good on offense, but they're really good on defense. And then your extras, Trocheck, Hannafin, Lacombe, which I'm interested in, and Keller. It's not bad, right? It's still great. It's just it could be so much better.
It could, and even though it's not, I'm barely saying Canada has the best roster.
Their forward group is nuts.
That's like the gap between the U.S. forwards and the Canadian forwards, I think, is a little bit wider than the gap between the U.S. and Canadian D, but the USD is stupid. Like it makes no sense. And then the gap in goalies, it's not even. That's the one that's not even close. Like, yeah, they're all good. I hope they all get in there because Swayman's having probably the best year, but Jay Godinger, like the way he's been playing, if you give him these D pairings, it's gonna be so hard to score on them.
Yeah, this is from Puckpedia, the Canada lines. You get Celebrating McDavid Wilson. That's crazy. Marchand, McKinnon, Suzuki. That's fun. Stone, Crosby, Marner. Fucking nuts. And then Hagel, Horvat, Reinhardt. Like, that's a fucking squad. And then your extras right there on offense are like Sam Bennett and Seth Jarvis. Like, their forward group is crazy. But like you said, we have the best goaltenders. We have the best defense. I'm still baffled by Bill Guerin's choice to just not bring the guys that score goals. There's like four guys in the NHL that have scored 30 goals. Only 2 of them are there, and they're both on Team Canada.
I try to not make it the entire story of this Olympic games, but it is, man. Like that is so unbelievably bad management. But they get a chance to prove us wrong. And if these boys go out there and do what they can 100% win that gold medal.
Comes down to who scores more goals. If this ends 2-1 in a 3v3 golden goal overtime and Team USA loses to Team Canada, I'm breaking things. I'm going to be so mad at Bill Guerin. So mad. Because all it takes is one goal. We saw that at Four Nation. It took one goal to win the tournament. Only one goal is all you needed. And you left 2 of the guys that have 60 total goals plus at home this season.
Please, United States goalies, save us
on your head, man.
from just utter heartbreak.
Yep. We get to see a lot of stars tomorrow. First game, I believe, 9:40 a.m. We get to see Team Finland. We get to see all of our stars out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Kiwi Ranta, obviously, on that team as well, former stars. So that's going to be a good time. Then Team USA gets to play on Thursday. Like I said, we're going to be live streaming that game on the Clean Sheet of Ice YouTube at 2:10 p.m. That's the puck drop. We'll probably go live around 2. It'll be me, Dom, and maybe Savannah will add in there as well. We'll recap that game on Friday's episode. We'll talk about Team USA. We'll talk about Team Canada. And Team Finland, obviously, with the stars in those groups. We'll kind of recap those first 3 games. And then after that, schedule's going to be wonky, right? I'm going to wait until after the group stage to do another live stream because it's going to be 3 hours of live streaming. I don't want to do that every game when they're playing back-to-back days. And we got to have recordings. We got to have the episodes come out. So once they're out of group stage, once they're into the quarterfinals, we may just have to stream every game from them for Team USA. And then if we get a Team Finland gold medal match or a medal match, maybe we stream that one as well. So TBD on the schedule there. But we're definitely streaming on Thursday, 2 o'clock, Clean Sheet of Ice YouTube. We'll be live on my Twitter as well, I believe. And, yeah, come hang out and chat. Come watch the game with us. We're going to be watching along with the game. We're going to live react to it. We're going to hang out and chat. I don't know how to get, like, volume or anything. I'm going to have to talk to Josh, our head producer, chief of producing over here at Apollo Media. See if we can get like the audio just kind of slyly in there for the YouTube viewers as well. That way you can mute your TV, still hear the game, and you can hear us and react with us. So come hang out and chat. It'll be a good time. But Dom, you got anything else before we get out of here?
I just can't wait. Like I'm ready for these games. I wish they started at 8, but I'm happy with that 2:30.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah.
I having to set up and get ready at 8 a.m. and just be live for 3 hours would have been a little bit tough. But when that bald eagle coffee hits my throat in the morning, like I would have been fine. I would have been okay. I would have been just fine. But yeah, 2 p.m. is not bad. The gold medal match is at 8. So we will have that at some point.
Please,
hopefully Team USA is in there.
If you are a Team USA fan, please play Freebird on your playlist because you're about to hear that a lot.
Yeah, I hope we score a lot of goals and I hear a lot of Freebird over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to recap it on Friday's episode. This is going on Tuesday, so only 2 episodes this week, but we will be live streaming during the Team USA first game against Latvia. 2:10 p.m. is puck drop. 2 o'clock, be on the Clean Sheet Device YouTube. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so if you don't remember that we're live streaming, it pops up on your phone. Hey, we're live. Come get in the chat. Come hang out with me, Dom Savannah. We're going to have a lot of fun. Team USA versus Team Latvia. First game for Team US. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to be wearing my US hat. 1932 Japan tour. It's pretty cool. Shout out to Ebbets Field. No free ads. We're excited. The Olympics are here. Stars are out. I might go to Ralph Lauren today. I might have to get a full fit. I don't know. I'm not going to do it. It's too expensive. It's crazy how expensive that coat was like $5,000 they were wearing. It's crazy. Shout out to Ralph Lauren though. Those fits were fucking fire. Jake looked great in those. That's it. Clean Sheet Advice. Texas Hockey Podcast. We'll be back on Thursday with a live stream, Friday with a new episode, and we'll see you very, very soon. Go USA.